Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, sisters and brothers. Thank you so much. As the leaders of this great union, for the last 2 years, you unleashed your courage to defend your members' rights. You unleashed your energy when their livelihood and the security of their retirement was at stake. Together, we unleashed the intensity and the power of this union of ours that was under attack. The odds in so many places were stacked against us. And together we unleashed our fury in the heat of battles all across 2 great nations that few thought we could win. We demonstrated our willingness to fight back at the moment in time when our members needed us the most. It's because of all of you, because of what we've all built together, that in the midst of what can be described as nothing less than an assault on our profession, on our members, and on the values that we hold dear, it's because of you that we are still here, still standing strong, still fighting above our weight class. And while fighting back out of the corners, we still push forward to the center of the ring for some incredible victories. And that's why today, although this IAFF could be viewed by some as middleweight in size, it stands as the heavyweight champion of the American labor movement. We are some of the very best. And while so many other unions, unfortunately, are licking their wounds, so many suffering massive membership loss, we keep finding a way to win more rounds than we lose. We found a way to keep growing in the face of historic struggles. And this IAFF of ours is ready to face any adversity. We're gearing up to take on all opponents on behalf of the 300,000 men and women that we represent. We know our adversaries aren't going to stop attacking, and this union won't stop fighting back. Because if it's a fight they want, by God, then it's a fight they're going to get from all of us. Our members, every day on the job, they don't back out, and they don't back down. And all across Canada and these United States, we've shown those who stand against us, who think that they put us in the corner of the ring, what we're made of. And today, as we meet here in Philadelphia, the birthplace of American democracy, in a city that's synonymous with the underdog taking out the champion, where Rocky, with his arms raised in victory, is immortalized in this nation's psyche as the symbol that dedication and commitment to a goal is only worth a damn if you put in the hard work to see it through. We meet here having unleashed everything we have, having put in the hard work, having fought back in the face of overwhelming odds against every pundit's prediction and the extreme attacks on our members by those who want to see us dead. Brothers and sisters, I stand proudly before all of you assembled here today to tell you that the state of your union is proud and we are strong. Welcome to Philadelphia in the 2012 IAFF Convention. As you've witnessed this morning, we've saluted those who have given everything they have to give. 241 have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. We've celebrated service, solidarity, and leadership in a time when the will of this union was tested mightily. We've shown in graphic terms the attacks our members and this entire movement have been under. And we are not just fighting back, but we're also pushing forward at a time when those who are working against us want to turn the clock back 100 years to a time when a few robber baron families, the Carnegies, the Mellons, the Morgans, the Goulds, the Goodyears, the Rockefellers, and the Flaglers had all the wealth. They wielded all the real power in this country. while workers got virtually nothing. And now, 100 years later, we are witness to those who want history to repeat itself. As we watch mega-rich billionaires, the Koch brothers, the Marriotts, the Murdochs, the Trumps, the Siemens, the Adelsons, use their obscene fortunes to try to eliminate any shot that a middle-class family has at reaching their dreams, just so they can get more. They've taken a nation built on success, a labor movement built on working together, where unions built on victories like the creation of pensions, health benefits, child labor laws, protections for workers' rights, laws that provide overtime pay and protect our work weeks, that built the middle class, which really made life better for everybody. They've taken that foundation and are attempting to shatter it. They've used the cruelties and the fear and the frustration and the anger generated by this recent economic crisis to create envy, to foster petty jealousies between different groups of workers, to pit private sector against public sector, and a death spiral to the ditch of lower and lower wages, no employer-paid health care, no defined benefit retirement plans. Quite simply, they've launched an attack on our way of life, on the entire working class, on the successful profession that we've all built for our members over these many years. They have come after our freedoms, after our liberty, the basic rights that protect us as citizens and that protect our members on the job. Those rights that we fought for and so many sacrificed so much for, so that our members could earn a decent living in exchange for the dangerous work they do and live out their retirement in relative security after a career of putting their lives on the line, protecting the safety of the public and our homeland. Our enemy's goal was to unleash an attack so strong, so fierce, so broad, so well-financed, and so bold that we would just stand in shock, in stunned silence, while they stole everything that we've worked so hard to build over the years, everything that those that came before us in this union bled and died for. They literally pushed our backs against the ropes like a bully and said, "I dare you to try to stop us." And so what did we do? Did we back down? Hell no, we didn't back down. And did we cower in the corner while they were pummeling our members? Hell no, we didn't back down. And did we turn on our sisters and brothers in the labor movement and say, "Hey, by the way, take it from them and we'll stay out of it"? Hell no, we didn't. No, we did what comes naturally to all of you alpha dogs in this room. We kept our feet on the ground. We held our head up high in the air. We stuck our chin out in their face. And we said, "Take your best shot." And they did. But we were ready to simply start fighting back and landing some blows of our own. And all of you, Tommy, our incredible executive board, every tremendous district vice president, our unbelievable staff, our great membership, we stuck together just like we've done since the first day that we were assigned to that first company. We took each other's back like you do every day on the job, and we fought back. They started the fight in Alabama, trying to take away our members' right to have dues deduction, simply to try to kill their unions, and we took their asses to court. We fought that loud-mouthed Chris Christie from just across the river in New Jersey when he started his jihad against our members' pension benefits there. And we weighed in when Florida's Governor Rick Scott and others of their ilk have gone after the retirement security of our members in dozens of other states. And we also know when Scott Walker eliminated collective bargaining rights of all public workers in Wisconsin, except firefighters and cops, our great leadership in that state didn't sit on the sidelines like Walker hoped they would. And with his divide and conquer strategy, no. Instead, they organized the rallies. They led the marches on the state capitol. And when it came time to recall Walker and his cronies, this union stepped up. And in the first recall of a lieutenant governor in the history of our nation, we ran one of our own. We sent a strong message in the face of the governor's intimidating tactics. That's what our Wisconsin leadership was doing, standing up for workers. So, Malin, you, our Wisconsin leadership, I want you to stand up in this room right now. And I want us to stand for you, for making us so proud of the fight that we fought together. When John Kasich and the Ohio legislature overreached, took away the bargaining and arbitration rights from all public workers, including every one of our members in Ohio, firefighters became the face and voice of a pushback that took center stage in the fight against billionaires. While the entire labor movement was involved in this battle, it was our state and local affiliates leading the way, with their faces on every newscast in Cleveland and Columbus, calling into the talk shows in Cincinnati, Youngstown, Akron, Strongsville, and Findlay. It was our members that assessed themselves over $1 million to fund their plan. And our members in their gold and black at every rally, knocking on doors, making those phone calls in city after city all across the state. And when the public heard our message, that taking away these basic rights risked public safety and the safety of firefighters, on that Tuesday night last November, they sent John Kasich and his gang a message that he could not ignore. When 62% of the vote said, we're not going to allow you to strip our workers' collective bargaining rights away, you're giving them back. Is the Ohio delegation in the House? Stand proud right now today and accept the appreciation from your sisters and brothers across two great nations. What an incredible victory. We were on the front lines as ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council, organized and orchestrated hundreds of attacks in literally dozens of states, conducting nothing less than an all-out legislative offensive against all of us. Last year and again this year in Michigan, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, New Hampshire, and so many more states, their legislation to repeal bargaining rights, enact right to work, repeal presumption laws, eliminate payroll deduction, moved into the state legislative sessions. In Missouri and Arizona, we showed that we won't let them take our voice away in the political arena through paycheck deception. And I can tell you right now, they damn sure are not going to be able to do it in California. We're going to be fighting back again for the third time in a decade. This November, our California leadership and affiliates, they're ponying up big. This international is weighing in heavily. And together, we're going to stop that cancer dead in its tracks again. And working together, you fought. You fought hard on the line. You fought against radical mayors that staved off company cuts. You were able to stave off company cuts in great cities all across our two nations, in New York City and Toronto, and so many others. Just 3 weeks ago, up the road in Scranton, Pennsylvania, when the mayor decided that he's going to cut municipal workers in the city to a minimum wage, less than kids of our members were making it an ice cream stand, our local 60 leadership stood up and said enough. and made it clear that, by God, we're not going to allow this to happen, not with one hell of a fight. And they've been doing an incredible job. And on Thursday afternoon, this entire delegation, when we finish with our business on Thursday, we're going to gather in the streets. We are going to march on this city hall, and we're going to tell Mayor Nutter, you implement Local 22's well-earned arbitration award. In state after state, province after province, city after city, many with much less national media attention than Wisconsin and Ohio, it has been all of us, all of you, our leadership and membership on the front lines who have stood up and fought back and yet pushed forward. Hell, if you just looked at the tail of the tape on the fight cards, the money advantage our opponents have had, the media influence they have, the sweeping 2010 election victories they experienced, most in the face of those disadvantages would just simply give up. So many faced with that challenge would throw in the towel, sit on their stool and say no mas. But brothers and sisters, here we stand as one hell of a united union, 300,000 strong, across two great countries. We may have emerged with some bruises and cuts, but we weathered the rounds, and with the final bell and match after match, not only did we emerge victorious in that last round in so many places, but we're also ready for the next bout. All they have to do is ring that bell again, and we will respond once again with everything we have to protect our members' rights, our members' lives, their livelihoods and pensions, their family security and future, because that's what we were all sworn to do. And they will never take that away from us. Not as long as I still have the honor of serving as your general president. This is not going to happen on my watch. We will continue to fight back together. And while we've been fighting back, we've also been pushing forward, working with the leadership of Local 94 and 854 in New York City, who took the lead and stayed focused for so long. And after 8 long overdue years, we worked together to pass the Zadroga 9/11 bill that finally protects the health of all of those who worked on that pile to rescue and recover the almost 3,000 victims, including our own, the 343 who sacrificed their lives that day. That's the work that we do together. We persuaded NFPA to create the first ever standard on performance of handheld radios and convinced Congress to finally allocate the spectrum needed to improve communication so our members can communicate with each other on the job, while at the same time securing the $8 billion in federal money to build out the infrastructure so our jurisdictions don't have to foot the bill. And it was in the current environment where Congress has been nothing but impotent, where partisanship has been killing every important idea and issue, and when nearly every other segment of government was getting butchered, including the COPS program being zeroed out. This union of ours, we delivered again when Congress, in addition to the $620 million initially approved and appropriated an additional $742 million in SAFER funds while we rewrote the rules of the program so jurisdictions could receive the grants with no strings attached. Sisters and brothers, that made us $1.3 billion available to your jurisdictions in those cities that needed it most, at a time in our nation's history when our members needed it most. That translates into 13,000 jobs across the U.S. That's our jobs program, and by God, it's working. I'm so proud of what we all did together over these past 2 years. We didn't succumb to what President John F. Kennedy so eloquently called the crusades of suspicion, where those who seek to escape their own responsibility point to what they call a simple solution, and then using an appealing slogan. Instead, we looked within ourselves. We met our challenges with quiet preparedness and devoted our energy to striving to make our members' lives greater by focusing on the positive work they do every single day, protecting their communities and saving lives. We didn't flinch in defending decent wages, safe working conditions, or securing their retirement, because those are what's right and just in this society. They are the foundation of the greater good. They are the means to the end we all seek. We have shown what the power of a union really can do when it is put into action by the real leaders like all of you. So I want to take a moment to congratulate every single one of you on a job well done. You have stood tall for your members. You have faced down the enemy. We are still standing together here in Philadelphia today. We're ready to fight another day, and it's because of the work that you've been doing and we've all been doing together. Congratulations on a job well done. But it's also clear that the struggle isn't over. No. The next legislative sessions are just around the corner. They will convene after this fall's politically charged election season. They will likely be coming back for another shot at stripping away our rights, cutting our members' wages, weakening our bargaining laws, attempting to silence our political voice. We also know that our pensions are about to come under another round of attack by those who stand to rake in billions more in profits if our defined benefit pensions are eliminated in favor of defined contribution plans. And the new changes in the rules of the Government Accounting Standards Board, the infamous Gadsby, it'll give you a headache. But those rules will artificially inflate the unfunded liabilities of our plans even further. If we thought the media and the public's misunderstanding of what unfunded pension liabilities really are was a problem before, just wait. When these new rules take effect, possibly as early as next June 2013, while not a single dollar asset will really actually change, no true liabilities will actually grow, but both will appear to spike and increase. That will give a second wind to those who claim our plans are unsustainable, helping them to make their dishonest points. State and local government elected officials and the media, they'll see this new false unfunded liability explosion on the balance sheet of our municipalities virtually overnight. They won't care what the damn truth is. They will immediately go looking for a scapegoat. They will use these fabricated numbers to turn the spotlight on us once again. They don't care if our members get the pensions they've earned. They're not entitled to them. They have earned them. They won't care about what you gave up along the way to pay for that benefit. And they won't care about the contractual or even the constitutional protection our members have in so many states and provinces. They are going to be looking for the simplest, easiest solution. And that is to close down our plans, close off or tear our plans. And they will have, unfortunately, a potential willing public to help prosecute their case, because they don't care if our members have little to nothing to rely on when they reach their retirement years. And the only way that we are going to ratchet back the level of the sheer number of these continuing attacks is not only to keep fighting back, but we're going to have to continue to help elect those that will stand with us. And by defeating those in the political and legislative arena who are willing to work against us, While our Canadian sisters and brothers have recently gone through a number of elections with some incredible success in places like Ontario, where our affiliates organized an unbelievable campaign machine in a successful effort to re-elect our great friend Dalton McGuinty as Ontario's premier. In Alberta, where they worked with the Progressive Conservative Party and their premier, Alison Redford, in the April elections to keep her in office, a friend, and hold off the ultra-conservative Wild Rose Alliance. And in Manitoba, where in a tough 2000 election, the new Democratic Party called on our union and our affiliates responded, helping the NDP win 37 of 57 seats in the provincial legislature and keeping our friend, Premier Greg Selinger, in office. And this November, here in the States, we will have our chance to make a difference in who holds the power in this country and in our members' lives. We'll be electing 11 governors and doing everything we can to make sure there are no more Walkers, Kasichs, LePages, Snyders, or Scotts sitting in governors' mansions. We'll be working to determine who controls the state legislatures, the mayoral seats, and city and county councils in countless jurisdictions, so we can end the attacks like those coming daily out of the extremists in New Hampshire legislature, and keep a firewall up against future assaults in states like Iowa. We'll be voting and deciding who will fill those 33 U.S. Senate seats, which will determine whether that body will have Orrin Hatch, who has vowed to eliminate defined retirement plans, or Max Baucus, an advocate for our retirement plans, chairing the Senate Finance Committee, or whether we're going to have our friend Tom Harkin, a 40-year friend of the labor movement, working people, and this IAFF, or whether we'll have Mike Enzi, an avowed opponent of collective bargaining, chair of the Labor Committee. The election will determine whether Tom Carper, a friend from Delaware who stands with us and who runs the Homeland Security Committee that oversees the millions and billions of dollars that come out to our members, or is it going to be Dr. No, Tom Coburn, who recently stated that all federal assistance and grants to local government, including the SAFER and FIRE Acts, are unconstitutional, and who is also trying to make a case that the Public Safety Officers Benefit Program is unconstitutional also. Can he use that chairmanship to simply gut our profession? Those are questions. 435 members of the U.S. House of Representatives, they're up for election, which is going to determine if John Boehner or Eric Cantor, whose budget proposals will kill the programs critical to our members, will control our future, or if worker-friendly and union-friendly congressional leaders will have the power to push forward the programs that are important to us. And yes, we will be electing a president and vice president of the United States, where the choice is between Mitt Romney, who as governor of Massachusetts repeatedly attempted to cut local aid to communities, attempted to use his line item veto to eliminate resources of equipment and staffing for our members in Massachusetts every single year he held office, attempted to strip away the collective bargaining rights of firefighters in cities across the state like Springfield, and even vetoed the funding to build a living memorial where the 6 of our own died in the 1990 Worcester cold storage warehouse fire. That's the same Mitt Romney, by the way, who has said that as president, he would zero out the SAFER and FIRE Acts, who called Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker a national hero for stripping bargaining rights from his workers, who went to Ohio and said he was 100% behind Governor Kasich's attempt to end firefighter collective bargaining. The same Mitt Romney who expressed his full support for Governor Mitch Daniels' implementation of right-to-work laws in Indiana, while he also, by the way, was saying that he would try to impose right-to-work nationally if he's elected. If you don't have any doubts, by the way, about what this guy stands for, then take some time this week and ask all of our leadership from Massachusetts. They'll tell you exactly who this candidate really is. Or we can stand up for and help re-elect President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden, who have put forward simply billions of dollars through their 4-year term to bring our members back to work and to keep thousands more of our members at work and off the unemployment rolls during these tough times. A president who's committed to creating the program, working as we meet, to make sure veterans have a preference for hiring so that they can transition from one great uniform as our nation's soldier into another great uniform as a domestic offender and firefighter. And the president and vice president who are working with us hand in hand to shore up the rules and the funding surrounding wildland firefighter, to keep the unsafe, untrained opportunists that go out and buy a damn tractor and simply try to put it on the fire line and put our guys' lives at risk. Has the president done everything that we feel he should have done along the way? No. Absolutely not. But the alternative will be a disaster for our members, our profession, and the working class's future. This election isn't about party labels. This is about an extremist opponent, many of them that are hell-bent on destroying us. An opposition that is now led by Mitt Romney at the top of the ticket. By his very own words, his end game is to kill us, kill our union, and eliminate the entire labor movement. For this union charged with protecting the lives, livelihoods, and jobs of our members, the choice is clear. And that's why your executive board unanimously voted in June to endorse President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden for re-election this fall, and we're going to work our ass off to keep them in office. And as we enter these various political rings, we'll hold to our political principles. We'll support those that support us. And I don't care what party designation is behind their name. I don't care if they have a D or an R. All I care about are they willing to take the back of the IAFF. That's our principle. And we will make our political decisions on the issues that affect our members' livelihoods, their financial security, their retirement, their job, keeping those rigs running fully staffed while protecting and enhancing their rights. And we will hold everyone that receives our support accountable for their actions and their deeds. And if they fail us, then we'll do exactly what we did 1 year ago. We will turn the fire pack spigot off, and they're not going to get a nickel unless they get back in line, and if they don't, then we'll simply replace them with somebody who will. And we're going to do a much better job of informing our members of the issues that this union has a responsibility for, the contrast between the candidates and what's at stake. We know that by playing hardball in the political arena, we give our members a better chance at a good, safe job and a secure retirement down the road. But it won't be easy. It never is. We'll experience pushback from some of our own. But these political rings aren't built for amateurs. Bouts at this level require real seasoned pros, and there is no union more professional and better prepared for fights at the weight class that we'll be playing at than all of you that make up this IAFF. We'll be ready. Brothers and sisters, as we prepare to set the course for our union for the next 2 years, right here in Philadelphia, I have to reflect back a little on August of 2000, when I was blessed with first being elected to the position of General President I immediately sat down with the incredible staff we assembled to begin charting out the programs and services that we needed to create and enhance to make sure that we're giving our affiliate leaders, you, the tools you need to do the very toughest jobs in this union. And then we got to work. We made growing FirePack a priority, and now it's in the top 1% of all 7,400 federal PACs in the United States, breaking its own record every year for the last 12 years and now exceeding $6 million. We raised the profile of our union in the media during elections and built our political operations gold and black brand into one of the most sought out and premier political endorsements in both countries. We built an incredible GIS system capability, and today we've expanded it to be web-based so our affiliates can respond to the immediate threats when there isn't time for a full analysis. We're providing hundreds of municipal financial analysis that arm our leaders with the credible information on the real state of the jurisdiction's economy that they're in. Our fire-based EMS work has changed the way most departments in the U.S. and now more and more in Canada approach the fastest growing part of our business, EMS response, continuing to make it a critical function of the fire department response and fighting off threats to privatize that work. Today, we have a new pension resource department, fully staffed, with a new database containing information on pension systems that cover over 80% of our members, which has already helped us weigh in on pension battles in states and provinces, cities and counties all across our two nations. We have positioned ourselves as a leader in community risk assessment and resource deployment, and we continue to partner with the National Institutes of Standards and Technology on studies that have given us the empirical data that show the effectiveness of crew size, of deployment, and assembly of an effective firefighting force for suppression and rescue operations. And we just finished the high-hazard, high-rise field experiments that will give us the scientific data we need to protect our members and to establish an industry standard that high-risk environment deserves. We have strengthened the operations of our Canadian office to provide specialized assistance to our most northern affiliates on a broad range of issues. We launched our inaugural annual Canadian Political Training Academy last year, and members and campaign strategies now are able to go out and make a difference in the elections that they manage. That is modeled after our incredible Political Training Academy in the U.S., which has now trained over 800 members, and we've elected over 300 of them to public office. We won an unprecedented multi-million-dollar grant in Canada government, the only union to ever receive one, to provide sponsored hazmat WND training in the country. And now you can ask the 1,600 firefighters, our members, who have just recently been trained by the program in cities all across Canada. Or ask any of the 110,000 IAFF members who have been trained by our $5 million per year grant-funded hazmat WMD program that's been training our members for over a decade. We built a legal program and a guardian policy that gives our affiliate leaders the ability to represent their members, knowing if they are retaliated against by their employers for simply doing their rightful work, this IAFF will be there to protect them. In over 96% of the cases to date, since the program was established 11 years ago, we have righted the wrongs. We have got our leaders' jobs back. They have received full restitution. And we said to employers and chiefs everywhere, if you screw with one of our own, you're going to be dealing with the full force of this IAFF. Our communications and PR operations have dialed us in to the national media at a level that most other unions that are much larger than us can only dream of. We are networked into the social media. We are providing online and print communications for our leaders and members, and we are adding the ability of our affiliates to fight back in campaigns in states, provinces, and localities everywhere. Our Occupational Health and Safety Division continues to provide the expertise that has enabled our states and provinces to win and amend the presumption laws and regulations so that our members now are protected in 42 states, 7 provinces, and 2 territories. We've upgraded our Project Heroes with turnout gear, not only providing greater thermal protection without increased weight or heat, but now providing chemical protection. We have built a wellness fitness program that has changed the way the profession approaches preventive health care for our members in hundreds of jurisdictions across our international. We just helped win an arbitration and stop a rogue Harvard University medical professor dead in his tracks when he was testifying recently against a 24-hour shift in Alberta, Canada. By the way, he's gone and the 24-hour shift is still in place. And our new Fireground Survival Program, simply one of the most important programs we've developed, is now training our members in cities all across both countries in how to protect their lives when they get caught in a bad situation in a fire. We created the Affiliate Leadership Training Summit in 2001, and every year, more than 1,000 of you, year after year, of this union is now receiving the information, the education, the instruction they need. Our Human Relations Conference consistently brings hundreds of us together and our leadership to more than 30 workshops to talk about ways to make this great profession more accessible to everyone. And 9 years ago, we had an idea, a concept, to create our own financial corporation, for profit, by the way, an enterprise that would be owned by you, to provide solid financial services to our members while creating additional revenue streams for our union. An ambitious project that many thought, quite frankly, was doomed from the start. We began with a blank sheet of paper, 0 assets, no participants in our program. We outlined what we wanted to accomplish. We then partnered with great providers in deferred compensation, insurance, and mortgages. We hired an incredible chief operating officer, and today we have built this operation into an enterprise that has $2.4 billion in assets under management, 100,000 participants in the plan, tens of thousands of our members insured, and we are generating over $750,000 a year into this IAFF to continue to build it bigger, better, and more successful. That's a pretty good idea. And just last year, we refocused all of this international charitable work that we do and pulled it under the umbrella of the newly formed IAFF Charitable Foundation, raising over $800,000 during its first inaugural gala in New York City. And we've changed the way our entire union conducts its business, transitioning to new technologies that have automated the work we do and made the work our affiliate officers have to do that much easier. All of these programs, all of these services that you receive out in the field, all of the new priorities that are set by you, the delegates, at our convention over the years, it all gets put into place by an incredible staff at our headquarters in Washington, D.C. and Idaho. And right now, I want to ask them to stand up and to receive the recognition and thanks they deserve from the delegates for a job well done. Our staff, please stand. This is the union we've built together. It's built for the long haul. We created this incredible IAFF to sit in the eye of the storm, to do more than just survive. We've proven that we have the guts, that we can rise up to the challenge. We can take to the streets, take our chances, and go the distance. We've shown those who want to knock us out that we have the skill and the will to survive. And I promise all of you that as long as you bless me with the honor of serving as your general president, I will never trade my passion for glory. I will keep my grip on the members' futures of this IAFF and protect their dreams. and together we will continue to fight to keep them alive. God bless all of you, and God bless this IAFF.